Welcome, everybody. This is Dan broadcasting to you live from Japan, the Blade Runner land. And I'd like to welcome you to our AMA for this week, wherever you are, Ergonauts, whether it's morning, noon, or night for you, welcome. And here with me, I have Alex Chepurnoy. Say hi to everybody, Alex.
Hi, everyone. My pleasure to be here again.
Great. Well, it's great to have you with us again. And great to see you in full. You got that cool microphone and your awesome white headphones. You know, those have become a community favorite. Actually, they love them. So thanks for joining us.
Nice.
Well, anyway,
let's have fun.
Let's have fun. Let's get straight into it. So I'll start. And so, what did I do this week besides drink a lot of coffee? And here is evidence at hand. And no, I don't only drink Starbucks. It's just today I'm drinking Starbucks. I have other types of coffee. I already just had this conversation. Other types of coffee, beans, machine, everything. Okay. I am not a coffee maxi by any means. Okay. I believe in cross coffee interoperability. Okay. So just throw that out there. Well, so what else have I been up to? One of the main things that myself as well as Joe have been doing this week is talking to various wallets, some very popular wallets about integrating Ergo and about updating their Ergo UX. Putting a lot of hours on this because this is so important for the community to have a smooth Ergo experience, and also. I'd just like to congratulate the community on our Android release. So that was a big milestone, and I'm really happy to see this go so viral on social media and just have so many downloads. It's really exciting to see this kind of engagement in our community. Another topic I've been concentrating on is speaking to incubators, and one in particular. It's a major incubator and accelerator that I would like to bring into our ecosystem. They have a really strong track record in other ecosystems and incubating, accelerating projects. This is a very ecosystem-friendly incubator, so I'm very careful about who I bring into the ecosystem because I would like to keep to the fundamentals of Ergo and to what the community come to expect. So I would not introduce any kind of negative actors into the ecosystem. I'm very selective. This is a very good company. Again, once this is solidified, I will make an announcement. And it offers various types of services. It offers incubation acceleration. It offers various type of mining services, yield farming services. So we're going to figure out exactly what our main verticals are. Mainly, it's project incubation and acceleration, and I would like to introduce this company into the ecosystem to help out with all these amazing projects that we have happening right now in the Ergo ecosystem, and to potentially give a pathway to success to new projects that are coming out of the Ergo hack, which will be happening really, really soon. So really excited about that. Another point, a major point we've been concentrating on is what we've been speaking about is education planning and education program planning. We had a couple of really good meetings this week with very high-profile educators who you will know. And as well as Alex self, I've also been in contact with the accredited university I've been speaking about. So this is all moving really well along, and I believe that this is going to be a huge value add for us. We will have a multitude of different courses, specifically focusing on Ergo, as some more basic courses to introduce people into the Ergo ecosystem. So this is a very exciting opportunity, very exciting vertical, and this will come to fruition really shortly. So please stand by for more details. And finally, I would also like to talk to you about Ergo Pulse. We are planning our new episode. We will have it out as always next month, and we would like to get your input on who you'd like to see on Ergo Pulse. So please feel free to reach out to us on Telegram. I'll also be doing a poll on Twitter. And I will actually ask Ergo Platform Twitter to actually do the same poll. So please engage with us. Let us know what interests you, which projects are exciting to you, what you would like to know. Maybe it's not a project. Maybe it is something else that's being created. Maybe it's maybe it's somebody who's writing some very exciting code. Maybe you'd like to see Alex tell something exciting on an episode of Ergo Pulse. I mean, just let us know. Let us know who would be really exciting for you to see on the next episode of Ergo Pulse, and we will make it happen for you. So that's it in a nutshell for what I've been doing this week, and I will hand it over to Alex for his updates.
All right. A lot of updates. In regards with education, there was a successful raffle for Ergo project. They are already doing a course on blockchain and Ergo script. It's late to join it, I guess, but there will be videos published from class, and I will join maybe some class in February. Let's see. All right, and that's quite exciting thing that projects from marketing field and also developing new infrastructure getting funded via raffles or community crowdfunding. For Monero, for example, and some Monero-like cryptocurrencies, there are centralized websites like Monero CS, it's called, if my memory serves me well. And there are some blockchains with DAOs built into the core. So Ergo is not enforcing rights to do generous things, but also those things are done on chain, right? So with no centralized infrastructure involved, and corresponding issues possible, always possible. All right, then there were lots of events since the last MA. So Aneta BTC, for example, made a new transaction with 5,000 outputs, and it's caused some problems on a peer-to-peer layer. Surprisingly, because of divergence between Lightful nodes and full nodes holding the UTXO set, and as latter ones did not expect a specific request from light clients then for big UTXO set transformation proofs. We had networking problems for some time, so currently solved with a new release, so you can get details in this release. And a lot of things to get considered in regards with securing the protocol. So it's possible to secure from edge cases via miners voting, so likely developers will propose it soon. There were new releases for the node with improved stability For transaction propagation and block assembly specifically, there are some significant improvements coming in regards with bootstrapping the node and so on. Then for EP 27 soft fork, we proposed indicative wording to miners. Let's see how it goes. I will update the EIP soon. Currently testing it. And also with issues appeared around Yoroi wallets, then Ergo DEX, as it's relying on Yoroi only, and so on. I think it's very critical now to be concentrated on stability of the infrastructure. From the reference clients to Explorer, which is working quite stable, unlike 2019 currently, to assembler services, to applications, and for sure wallets. There are a lot of things to get done better in a better way. There are new wallets coming with the connector support, and ErgoDex will support a new standard for non-browser wallets, ErgoPay. And also checking some things with Unknown Real of Auction House to make sure that huge transactions are not causing problems for transactions assembler on their side, because it is suspected that in case of huge transactions like Aneta, there are some problems there also. Currently we have applications and wallets and so on, so a lot of components in place, and time to polish them and be sure about stability of everything. Also, there was a recent article by Moxie Marlinspike criticizing state of Web3 and DeFi. I think, as a community, Ergo Foundation, along with community projects such as ErgoPads, ErgoDex, Auction House, and so on. We need to be sure that things are going in a proper way, so they're enriching end users. And security is not compromised because after this article there are also some more recent writings about insecurity of wallets holding NFTs in regards with privacy and so on. We can do something with NFT standards. There is EIP standard for NFTs, and we can check concrete wallets for privacy leaks and so on. I think the state of Web3 and DeFi can be much better here than in Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain, Solana and other blockchains. Last developers chat was very intense, there will be a video from Joseph coming around the weekend, please follow. And also Ergo Hack is coming, please apply before January 31st. And yeah, it seems there will be pretty good hackathon again, focused on privacy and security. And yeah, we will have a surprise for the community to be announced soon, and yeah, to be released after the Ergo hack. All right, so stay tuned, and this is my update.
Well, thank you very much, Alex. That was definitely a lot of good info, a lot of good updates. And so let us go to the questions. So let's see. And let's see. Okay, this is a good question from Jose. And Jose is asking, what do you think the key pieces that Ergo is missing to achieve mass adoption? Well, I'll answer this first, and I'll give it over to Alex to also kind of chime in. I'm sure he's got his own input on this. So I think the two main keys, as we discussed before, is if you're talking about trade, the actual market capitalization, that's volume, and basically liquidity, and from the general adoption point, I would say from my side, I think it's lack of big major commercial adoption, which is something that I'm personally focusing on this year. Those are the two major components, I believe. If we can get more commercial adoption, if we can get more widespread adoption of Ergo technology, and for other, for governments, for businesses, for small to medium-sized businesses to utilize this technology, that will in turn help us achieve this adoption. And this is a primary focus point for myself, and as well as Joe and others at Ergo for this year. We will be making this happen, and I believe that by the end of this year, we will achieve much more robust mass adoption for Ergo tech. Now I'll hand it over to Alex. So what do you think, Alex? What would you say is the main pieces that are keeping us from just exploding?
Oh, so I think we need for more maturity of everything around, and also to get critical mass of applications and users. So this is coming, I guess, well, for both aspects. There is now so explosive progress. So yeah, I agree. This year definitely will be very successful, undoubtedly.
Yeah, I do agree. It's just basically critical mass of applications adoption. When I say commercial adoption, that to me is commercial adoption. Is applications different individual parties utilizing the technology to build their own projects, their own applications, their own portals, whatever else, systems, or whatever else utilize Ergo tech. And in turn, the more applications, the more adoption there is, and hopefully also Ergo hack will help us achieve that as well. Because, for example, Ergo came out of Ergo hack, so that is a primary example of a great project coming out of Ergo hack. That is now boosting mass adoption of Ergo. So hopefully we'll have other projects that materialize in Ergo hack as well as outside of Ergo hack just by itself. And again, if myself or anybody at the Ergo Foundation can be of any help to anybody as far as guidance, as far as liaisoning, please reach out to me, reach out to Joe, and we will be helping you with whatever we can. So let's go to another question here. So here's a question about marketing. And so, do you have a marketing roadmap for with concrete actions for 2022? This is something that is actually in the works right now. Basically, our major milestones are PR for Ergo, which is something that we're hiring a firm for right now. We're at the tail end of the negotiation right now. We're about to onboard them. Another aspect of marketing, another big marketing push is going to be the education and commercialization. So things like Ergo Hack, other activities that will encourage, as I spoke about before, in mass adoption, as well as expand. We'll focus on rebranding. We will be rolling out a new website, new look and feel. We're going to reorganize materials and basically make things a lot more streamlined. As we progress, we will make a visual roadmap available for the community, and we will let you know once that is out. But that is definitely works right now. So please stay tuned. Well, let me see. Here's okay. So, I mean, this is well, this kind of question maybe for Alex. I don't know how you feel about answering this, but Russia is going to ban crypto again. Are the Russian developers safe? How are you safe, Alex?
I guess so. I'm not quite following the news soon. I mean, since 2014, it's the same, like once a year. The central bank is planning to do some ban, and then next year the same news appear again. So I'm not quite following the news even now. Let's see. But I guess so. Yeah, pretty safe.
Great. Well, just let me know. I'll send some ninjas and stuff your way just to kind of airlift you out of there. Ninja lift you out. I'm gonna take you to Japan, hide you out in the sushi bar. Okay, another question, actually also for Alex, is quick summation why Ergo Script is superior to competitors. What would you say, Alex?
I guess it's just simpler, right? So you don't have things like reentrancy bugs and so on, right? So maybe less chance to do logical errors also. Programming in it is pretty specific, but once you understand you take some model and Ergo Script programming, so it's actually pretty straightforward, and you can do a lot in a pretty simple way. Also, contracts are composable. Yesterday I checked a little bit vesting contracts for ErgoPad, and they copy pasted part of logic from. One of the contracts is mostly, there were two contracts, and one was mostly taken from an Unreal's proxy contract because, it's also proxy contract on the ErgoPad side. And it's actually pretty secure to do that. So Solidity developers also doing copy paste all the time, but it's not secure usually. In opposite, right? I mean, the developers are still developers, right? So usually they don't quite ready for doing critical codes, right? Where one mistake could cost like 200 million USD. Right, 150 as it was in case of the DAO, for example, and so on. Yeah, then well, if you can do well an approach where it's harder to make a mistake, then yeah, it's definitely better, I guess.
Great. Thank you, Alex. Always a great, robust answer. So let's see. Another question. Let's actually, well, it's actually also for Alex. I would say that when do you think start to see sidechain implementation?
Oh, good question. In regards with off-chain and sidechain, there will be a first tutorial with a super simple off-chain application already done. So in regards with sidechains, we are talking also with partners to do those things together. Research and development also. So it's hard to give any concrete days, and so yeah, we are still in the research phase. So yeah, it's hard to say. Maybe I can say something more concrete around, let's say, late February. Let's see.
Great. So let's see. We have another question. When Ergo $100, I'll tell you exactly when that will be. It will be when $100 equals one Ergo. Haha. Let's see. What's another good question here? Okay, so this is a good one. How does the Ergo roadmap sorry, let me start it over again. How does the roadmap for Ergo oracles look? What types of oracles would you love to see built on Ergo?
All right, so there is Oracle 2.0 proposal and contracts are done. So I need to check about the backend component, whether it's done or not. And yeah, so Oracle Pulse 2.0 better as they are creating less dust on the blockchain. And yeah, also they're using a token for rewarding, which is convertible to Ergo and so on. So details are published, I guess, by Scala Hub, so you can check. And so when it will be deployed also depends on use cases, right, for it. So let's see. So currently, as far as I know, there is good progress towards finalizing DEXI USD design. So another stablecoin design, and maybe it will use the new Oracle Pulse. So yeah, let's see.
Great. Here's actually a good question, and I would actually like to maybe even discuss this with you, Alex. Here's a good one. Will Ergo partner with ETC Classic, or is that competition? I know IOHK was helping at some point. Yes, IOHK was working with ETC Classic or ETC. So it is just ETC. It's not it's not ETC. It's ETC Classic. It's Ethereum Classic. And we did work them. We did the Mantis client with them. But what would you say, Alex? Is this is ETC competition, or can we cooperate with ETC?
I guess we can. If there is competition, that is only about miners, I guess. So attracting miners, right? Because we are both sitting in the GPU mining field. Outside of that, so I don't think there is any competition really.
Great. I've been planning to reach out to them. I know Bob Somerville, plus I have several good friends that are involved with ETC and ETC Labs. So I we'll talk to them. We'll see if we can do something. Make promises, but like I said, I do have some good contacts and good friends at ETC. So maybe we'll do something. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. Another good question. Okay, so I don't know, Alex. Says Andre is asking, I heard Ergo achieved 5,000 simultaneous transaction. Is it true?
Oh, so it's actually was one transaction, but with 5,000 outputs. So yeah, it's kind of a replacement of 5,000 transactions in Ethereum. And so it was made. And when we are talking about TPS, right? So I'm always pointing to that it's pretty meaningless, right, to talk about TPS if you don't specify the letter T there. So one transaction with 5,000 outputs can replace 5,000 transactions, right? Then how can you compare transactions if they are very different by their nature?
So this is actually there's another question here from Jamian, and this is something that I've seen in the community. So explain, clarify the EAP to everyone, talking about miner rewards and putting some in a smart contract for later. I don't see it as a bad thing. Can you help calm people's nerves regarding this? So what would you say about that, Alex?
All right. So the first thing is that emission is done via a smart contract already, right? And EAP is about enforcing is about miners enforcing miners to put some parts of reward they're getting from the emission contract into another contract which is similar to the emission contract, but simply paying a flat amount starting from a certain block. All right, so the point is to have a long tail emission for 20 years, maybe another 20 years. It would help with long-term network security. So it's basically the game between two contracts, right? So it can be done via a soft fork, actually a soft fork which can be disabled, so replaced with another policy even after. Right, and so it's needed for the update is needed for mining nodes only and so on. So yeah, it's It's a very soft way actually to update the protocol, and yeah, it's actually quite interesting that Ergo is having emission done via smart contracts, not as a magic rule in the code base of a client.
Okay, here's actually another really good question here. So, are there contingencies or plan to put something into place for continuing development of Ergo if the Ergo Foundation isn't able for whatever reason in the future? Well, first of all, I personally think that the contingency plan is the community-driven aspect of Ergo. Even if the Ergo Foundation is not there, there is still a developer community behind Ergo that's driving forward the development of Ergo. So, which is in essence the nature and the greatness of a fully decentralized system. There is no one point of failure that can basically cripple the entire system. I mean, that's just my opinion. What do you think about that, Alex?
Pretty much the same. So the goal of the Ergo Foundation from status, as well as the goal of the Treasury, was about to make ecosystem mature enough and then disappear basically. So there was a Bitcoin Foundation back in 2012 and 13. Right, and yeah, it did certain things, but then disappeared. And well, it's not a good example, maybe because it was a pretty dysfunctional organization involved into a lot of scandals about careless spendings and so on. Anyway, so if we are talking about decentralization and community-driven approach, then there should not be an entity which is controlling everything forever, right? Everything around. And and also I guess there is no status quo possible, right? So whether an entity is taking more and more control, right, and so dominating, and then no point to talk about decentralization, or the entity is giving out control and then eventually disappearing, right? So well, it's not quite possible, I guess, to stay about the same level of control in the long term.
Great. So another good question, and this is actually a really good question. Well, for you, Alex, I would like you to answer this first, and I'll chime in. Hi, Dan and Alex. I am looking into the Ergo project. I would like to know what is the unique selling point and if it will resolve in some of the issues that other layer one projects are facing. So why don't you answer that first, Alex?
All right. So I guess it's about a combination of a few unique properties, right? So first, scalability solutions. So maybe I will make a presentation on that. Another one. So there were some done back in 2019, but yeah, we need for another one at this point because old materials forgotten, I guess now, because the community as we have now mostly formed in 2021. It's about unique support for cryptographic protocols, right? Such as real threshold signatures, complex signatures, Ergo mixer, stealth pools, and so on the application level. Right, so this is still pretty greenfield, so a lot of things to discover. Also scalability. Support for cryptographic protocols, and also I guess a lot of interesting things is about governance, right, in proof of work system. So we already have block size limit increased significantly since the mainnet launch, right, and the TPS limit increased. So, developers will propose to tweak some parameters, right, to scale securely after. And so on. So also all those things with bypassing non-outsourceability we had, and now also if EP 27 will be approved, so the game between emission and re-emission contracts and so on. And also a lot of talks around about doing some contracts for miners. Get block mining pool, for example, is doing proof of voting protocols to allow individual miners to vote within the pool with the hash rate and so on. So I've never seen such things in other proof of work cryptocurrencies. So it was also considered that proof of work systems are pretty dumb in regards with governance. It seems actually a lot of things, a lot of interesting things possible here. Those are my thoughts, and also it's more friendly. So the UTXO cryptocurrency like Ergo more friendly to off-chain and sidechain protocols, but this still to be shown. So those are my thoughts.
Well, thanks, Alex. I think you gave a much more robust answer that I was going to give, but my sentiments are pretty much exactly what I think. The three strongest points of Ergo are scalability, interoperability, and adaptability. And so those 3 points are key to the success of any layer one blockchain. Because simply they're tools that are needed to evolve, because as I always say, a real blockchain ecosystem is always evolving. Ergo is always evolving. And so those are, as Alex explained to you in detail, exactly what those mean, scalability, interoperability, and adaptability. Those are the 3 key points that are the major sell for Ergo, because it is just so streamlined with those. We're constantly concentrating on this. We're concentrating on privacy. We're concentrating on interoperability between blockchains, bridges. The EUTXO model allows us to work in various different ecosystems, like Cardano, for example. And the scalability, as we already talked about as well, is a big reason why Ergo, I believe, is its own unique organism, and that doesn't really have to compete with other blockchains, even in the EUTXO alliance. So, in essence, I do agree with everything that Alex said, and I think that those three points are key. So if anybody really asks what is it, those are the three pillars, to me at least, of Ergo, and what makes Ergo so awesome. let's see. Okay, and here's another question. So, what do you think about this, Alex? Will Ergo NFTs be on OpenSea? Is there a work on Ergo auction to be more enjoying check identity key on NFT prime creator and sell original NFTs? Okay, I think what this person is asking is so basically, will Ergo NFTs ever be on OpenSea? And is there work being done on an Ergo auction to be able to for the original seller for the original creator to be able to resell NFTs? That's something that's going on. Does that make sense to you?
What is the second question about?
Well, the second question, I believe, is the Ergo auction with a. Okay. Well, okay. Let's focus on the first question. Let's focus on the part of the second part of the question is a little bit difficult to understand. But so, what do you think about Ergo NFTs on OpenSea?
Yeah, I guess possible, but yeah. So in the first place, a bridge with Ethereum is needed, right? Because OpenSea, as far as I know, is on Ethereum only. And then we need also to bridge standards, right? So EAP standards to ERC 720. So I don't know much about ERC 720 to answer, but yeah, I guess at least theoretically this is possible. However, well, in the first place, it would be good to get just a bridge to Ethereum, right, and Ergs on Uniswap and other dexes. That would be awesome for starters.
Great. So let's do one last question, and this is actually something that might take a few minutes. So I think it's a good question to leave off on. So where is DeFi space at in its evolution, and how is Ergo best developed to capitalize on DeFi?
All right. So currently, DeFi is well in not so good state, I guess. So there was a recent article. Oh, I forgot from whom, but yeah, I can find a link maybe later and post in the Telegram. If not done, I mean the main Telegram group. Let's see, or maybe my Twitter. So that's wealth distribution is pretty centralized, right, in DeFi, which is understandable because most of the projects are VC backed, and not so much VCs actually backing, right? So mostly it's about the same funds funding competing protocols. And, so the space is centralized. And also, so Bitcoin was initially a movement against the money printer Gus Brewer. Right, but currently, the DeFi is mostly about network, right, of money printers going abroad, right? So they're always issuing new tokens to Greece liquidity providers, and those. Liquidity providers are jumping from one protocol to another, depending on how attractive concrete tokens are at the moment, right? Yeah, it's pretty problematic, and yeah, so what DeFi projects are trying to do, right, is to lock liquidity, LP tokens, right, to make them failing in price not so soon. But yeah, then it's about, well, some insane financial machinery, right, used to just postpone the protocol failure. Yeah, it's not so good state, right, of the space, let's say, honestly. And yeah, well, I think DeFi should be mostly about providing valuable service, right, especially where they are not quite available, like to provide lending where interest rates are insanely high at the bank offices, or lending is not available effectively, right? And so on, right, to provide stable value, right, where you cannot rely on a national currency, for example. And so on, right? So, but yeah, instead we have some crazy games, right, where it's promised that have like 400% APY, right, thousands percent, and yeah, that is insane. So I mean, it's even it sounds even worse than Ponzi schemes, right? They're not promising so much even. Yeah, so to me, well, there is some conceptually wrong in current DeFi space. So yeah, it's kind of wrong focus, not on providing value, right, in a decentralized way, but to do some weird games to have some crazy high APY metric, which is standing for months, right, in the best case. Not to say about hacks, rug pulls, and so on. So those events are pure disaster for sure. In addition to things done conceptually wrong. All right.
Great. Well, thank you. Great answer as always. And so I think it's a good place for us to end the week's AMA. And I would like to thank all the Ergonauts that have joined us today from wherever in the world you are. We're here for you, and we really this ecosystem doesn't work without you. So thank you very much for all your time, all your effort, and all your dedication to Ergo. And we will see you next week.
Yeah, so yeah, thank you for your questions. Very thoughtful.